Beneath the endless, blinding white of Antarctica, where the wind screams across the ice and the sun can vanish for months, there is a world few have ever imagined. For centuries, Antarctica was a blank spot on the mapa place of myth and speculation, where only the bravest dared to venture. Early explorers, wrapped in furs and hope, crossed the frozen wasteland, their breath freezing in the air, their footprints quickly erased by the relentless wind. They believed the continent's secrets were buried forever, locked beneath a fortress of ice. But deep below that frozen shield, hidden from the sun and untouched by time, an ancient body of water has waited in silence, Lake Vostok. Its story is one of endurance, obsession, and the unbreakable human spirit. The tale begins in the 1950s, during the height of the Cold War. The Soviet Union, eager to push the boundaries of science and national pride, established a remote outpost on the East Antarctic Plateau. They called it Vostok Station, after the Russian word for East. The men and women who lived there faced a daily battle against the elements. Temperatures could plunge to minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and the darkness of the polar night seemed endless. The isolation was absolute. There were no trees, no animals, not even the sound of running water, only the constant, low moan of the wind and the crunch of boots on snow. Yet, the scientists pressed on, driven by a relentless curiosity and the hope that something extraordinary lay beneath their feet. They measured, drilled, and mapped, their breath clouding in the frigid air, their hands numb inside thick gloves. They sent radar waves deep into the ice, searching for clues. At first, the signals bounced back, as expected, echoing the solid, unbroken ice. But then, something changed. The echoes grew strange, as if the ice was hiding a secret. As the years passed, the evidence grew impossible to ignore. Using radar and seismic technology, the researchers discovered a vast, hidden laone that had been sealed off from the world for at least 15 million years. The scale was staggering. Lake Vostok stretched over 150 miles long and nearly 50 miles wide, buried under more than 2 miles of solid ice. It was a lost world, preserved in total darkness since the age of the dinosaurs. The news sent shockwaves through the scientific community. What secrets did this ancient lake hold? Was there life in its pitch-black waters? The questions haunted scientists around the globe. The lake's isolation meant that any life within it would have evolved in complete separation from the rest of the planet. It was a time capsule, a window into Earth's distant past. But reaching Lake Vostok would be a challenge unlike any other. Drilling through more than 12,000 feet of ice required technology and patience on a scale never seen before. Every step was risky. If the drill contaminated the lake, it could destroy the very ecosystem they hoped to study. Years of planning, setbacks, and international debate followed as teams from Russia, the United States, and other nations searched for the safest way forward. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that bring history's greatest mysteries to life. The men and women at Vostok Station became legends in their own right. They endured months of darkness, where the sun never rose and the cold seeped into their bones. Supplies arrive only once a year, dropped by plane onto the ice. Communication with the outside world was limited, and the isolation could be crushing. Yet, they pressed on, driven by the dream of discovery. Finally, in February 2012, after decades of effort, Russian scientists broke through the last barrier of ice. For the first time, water from Lake Vostok surged up the borehole, carrying with it the promise of discovery. The world watched as samples were carefully collected and analyzed. What they found was both mysterious and thrilling. signs of microbial life, unlike anything seen before. These tiny organisms had survived in total darkness, under immense pressure, in water that was supercooled and rich in gases. The discovery of life in Lake Vostok changed the way scientists thought about our planet and about the possibility of life beyond Earth. If life could survive in such extreme conditions, could it also exist on the icy moons of Jupiter or Saturn? Lake Vostok became a model for the search for extraterrestrial life, a reminder that the universe is full of surprises. But the story of Lake Vostok is not just about science. It is about the people who risked everything to uncover its secrets. Imagine the long, silent nights at Vostok Station, where the only light came from a single bulb and the only warmth from a battered stove. Imagine the hope and fear as the drill bit inched closer to the lake, the tension as the first water samples were brought to the surface. For those who lived and worked there, Lake Vostok was more than a scientific puzzleite, was a test of faith, endurance, and the human spirit. Even now, the lake's mysteries are far from solved. Its waters remain largely unexplored, its ecosystem still a secret. Some believe there may be larger life forms waiting in the darkness, creatures that have never seen the sun. Others wonder what ancient secrets are locked in the lake's sediment traces of past climates, lost continents, or even the fingerprints of meteor impacts from a time before humans walked the earth. Lake Vostok is a testament to human curiosity and perseverance, a reminder that even in the most remote corners of our world, there are wonders waiting to be discovered. It is a story of ice and darkness, of hope and endurance, of the unbreakable bond between people and the mysteries they chase. So, the next time you look at a map of Antarctica, remember, beneath that frozen wilderness lies an ancient ocean, silent and hidden, holding secrets that may one day change our understanding of life itself. If you enjoyed this journey into the heart of Antarctica, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Join us next time as we uncover more of the world's greatest mysteries. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop seeking the unknown.